We have found new hauntings. This haunting, to our chagrin, was once one of our own Fade explorers.
He delved where he should not.
I've heard another landscape has been added to your collection.
There is much to be done. The dead.
Now, what do you have to say for yourself?
Did I miss something?
Since we're here to gather flowers for the dead, I thought I'd teach Manfred some plant names. But I just caught him attempting to wade into a rose bush.
That must have been frustrating.
He knows he's not supposed to play in the horticulture. Oh, Manfred. Whatever will happen to you if I pass on?
If?
Ah, there's something I'd like to talk about. Do you know what a lich is, Rook?
Doesn't ring a bell.
A lich is a mage transformed into one of the undead while retaining their true, original consciousness. The idea fascinated me when I was younger. For years, I researched and experimented, spoke with spirits and mages. Then, eventually, I found them.
Who?
The Lich Lords of the Grand Necropolis. Necromancers before me who'd transformed themselves into true living dead.
You think that's good?
I was their first living petitioner in some time. The Liches are the great protectors of the Necropolis, bulwarks against forces that threaten creation. After years of tests and rituals, they granted me my desire, the right to attempt lichdom.
Hold on. If you become a lich, then all this flirting we've been doing...
I should hate to lose your company while I'm still mortal.
What would you being a lich be like?
A vast leap. Flesh cast aside for bone, returned immortal for all time.
That sounds like a lot to take on.
Oh, I'd inform you before making any decisions to... questions of lichdom are... Lichdom is an incredible honor. Immortality, prestige, the most hallowed ranks of the Watchers, as well as a chance to be of service past my allotted years. But there are considerations. Come, we have flowers to gather for the dead.
Okay, but I've got questions.
Blue creepvine. This will do nicely.
Emmerich, aren't most undead just random spirits inside corpses?
Liches are different. It wouldn't be a spirit acting in my name. My true consciousness would be housed in my departed flesh.
How?
The Order must keep some secrets. Moon blossoms, famed in verse and song.
Smells like perfume. Do liches have a sense of smell?
I've been told that while some of my senses will dull, others will become available. Other than that, I can't say if the flowers would still hold their bloom for me. Lichdom serves a purpose. There are dark things in creation, threats to both our world and the Fade. The Liches of the Necropolis have the insight and the abilities to oppose them.
And you're joining them. When?
Certain elements have held me back. There's no ready instructions for Lichdom. The steps must be discovered on one's own over years to be fully understood.
Does the spell to become a lich kill you, or do you have to...
No, mercifully, that falls to another Watcher. After my death, my soul will be drawn back into my body instead of moving on to whatever lies beyond.
So, what's holding you back from lichdom?
Even with all my preparations, there's a chance I could die permanently during the rites. What cowardice! A promise of immortality, an end to all my fears, and the final veil stays my hand.
That's reasonable. Lots of people are afraid of dying.
Is it? When it keeps me from what I most desire? Traditionally, candidates for lichdom face one final sifting of the soul. If they avoid it, you saw my old colleague.
Hezenkos. She's a lich?
A half-lich, though that hasn't diminished her powers. Until I stop her plans, I won't possess the peace of mind for lichdom. Why don't you select the next flowers, Rook?
Sure. So what's a half-lich exactly?
Johanna attempted the rites of lichdom and failed. Stuck in her in-between state, she is supremely dangerous, but can't learn any new magic.
No wonder Hezenkos was shot. What about the sifting of a soul that Hezenkos avoided?
The spirits of the Necropolis judge whether a candidate is worthy of the power and responsibility of lichdom.
How'd she become a lich without it?
I shared some knowledge when we were colleagues.
For a Watcher, Hezenkos is pretty harsh on spirits.
We made allowances because of her discoveries. Too many. Spirits are not things to be disposed of.
You really care about them.
They're so susceptible to the world's whims, Rook. Some spirits are dangerous. For all she's done, I can't condemn Johanna for attempting lichdom. That freedom from mortality, that divorce from fear. And of course, time to read all of one's book. We have enough flowers. There's something I'd like to show you. here we are.
Oh, so these flowers are for...
Yes. If you could place them on the graves, please.
In memory of Rupert and Eleanor Volcaren. They walk eternity hand in hand.
After I became a watcher, I erected a proper shrine to my parents. When I come to talk, I like to think they listen. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
Rook, it's a pleasure. Do you remember your parents?
Some memories are bright. Others are akin to those dim early morning dreams one gets sometimes. Lately, I wondered what they'd think of our current course, the choices ahead.
Your lichdom.
What would they have wanted me to be?
I can tell you what I think they'd want you to be.
What's that?
Happy. You could always speak with your folks, couldn't you?
My parents last saw me as a boy. By the time I mastered my corpse whispering, I was a man. If I woke them, there might be a flash of recognition, or... Besides, if I speak to too many other spirits, Manfred might grow jealous.
Can't have that.
He'd be impossible, I agree.
There's that haunting Myrna mentioned, the Fate Explorer.
be why.
Still standing, not bad.
Midnight.
I took care of that Fate Explorer.
We are greatly indebted.
He can now rest for a time.
Our collegial allies in the Fade have informed us of several undead banding together.
They have begun to seek blood.
A handful of Antam have left the city.
Only a handful?
I heard they feared...
Rook, Viago and I are visiting the new memorial. For those we've recently lost.
After all you have done, you are most welcome to join us.
Thank you.
I heard what you did.
Jacobus.
You helped them, Radix. You left us. Why do you keep coming back here?
I want to help.
How? How can... you make up for the dragon? The blight? You really are trying to help Treviso?
As much as I can.
Air used to say I should try to... Sorry. Sore throat.
We are not here to be formal. There have been enough funerals.
Did you know? I was just turning to say something to Air the other day. Before I remembered, she was no longer there.
Fletcher.
I didn't know Chance for long, but he seemed like a good man.
terrible taste in furniture. He always smothered everything in gold. I'll miss hearing him complaining that I complain about it.
The diamond, the entire city feels so empty. I wonder if it will ever not feel that way.
Just another thing the gods have to answer for.
A fine sentiment. For the day you face the gods. And there is only so much good their deaths will bring. We must make the rest for ourselves.
Let's hope there is something in that.
When did you get here?
A while ago. I was reading the letters. Messages for loved ones. Prayers to the Maker. A few letters are to people I would have liked to know again.
Who else did you lose in Treviso? Other crows?
A few. Not all were crows. Some just lived daily lives in the city. Local merchants, people who put out the morning coffee as we headed to bed. After the ossuary, I wanted to walk by and see them again. As if I could return to where I left off.
All these words for the dead. Do you believe anyone or anything sees them?
After I was captured by the Venatori, I would have said no. How could the Maker or any power permit what happened in that place? After all we have seen, I still don't know who, if anyone, hears our cries. But now, I hope they do.
Is there anything else we should say?
I did mention this isn't formal.
But we should do something.
A toast, then. Something we promise the dead we will think about over drinks to come.
That we won't stop until those who killed them are gone.
That I would drink to. Gladly.
The crows rule Antiva, and tonight we mourn with her. There's an interesting letter.
I think that art merchant with information on the Antam lives near here. Hello? Are you all right? Done.
Come in, please.
My saviors, welcome!
Viago said you had information on the Antam. Are they after you?
They barricaded me in and said I would starve unless I handed over the contents of my gallery. Lately, they've been taking paintings, sculptures, all sorts of treasures. And to think I overheard someone in the market yesterday bragging about dealing with the atrocious brutes. The market master might know more about what those dreadful Antam are up to. Light has changed my mind. I'm in your debt. Please look around. I hope dear Viago can make next week's exhibition.
All right. We should talk to the market man.
Lighted on the left. Other
Hello?
injuries on the right.
This
Don't let the
might
blight
sound
spread.
strange, but I was told you might know about Antam stealing paintings.
It's bad for business. And somebody here knows something. Everyone notices the master of the market. But you, stay hidden. Listen near the stores. You might learn something about our Antam art collectors.
Let's listen carefully around the market. Don't want to scare anyone off.
Hardly got any sleep last night. Just the thought of living next to the blight.
Makes you sick, doesn't it?
Barely any customers today.
It's a wonder anyone still lives in a city the way it is now.
We're close to that camp where the Antom took that merchant's stolen sculpture. Take a breath.
That goes to you.
Everyone still alive? I'll make this quick.
Okay, let's look around for the stolen art, or any sign of what the Antom are doing with it. Nothing here.
Still nothing.
Strange. You'd think a few statues would stand out.
Still nothing. I don't see anything that merchant in the market was talking about. No stolen art.
I've got a hunch we should check with him again.
Preparing for battle? Looking for a gift?
What is a governor supposed to be doing in times of occupation?
Honestly?
That merchant who said the Antom stole his artwork? He's with the Venatori. I'll bet he caught us listening in.
So he sent us off on a chase. Should have seen it coming.
The note said the Antom are Okay, we're close to the camp where Antom are trading with the Venatori for magical components.
You waste
Those sneaks from the market. Just kill them.
Look right.
All right, let's find out what the Antom and the Venatori are actually doing here. This note is about Gatlock, that Kunari blasting powder. The Antom are using magical components from the Venatori to make it more explosive. Much more explosive.
Well, look at what they can achieve when they work together.
We must go to Deandiago with this as soon as possible.
Agreed.
you fought Darkspawn.
None of them touched me.
I will inspect you later.
Good news?
The Venatori are helping the Antom make their Gatlock explosives even more powerful.
What?
It's not ready yet. They're still experimenting.
Then we have some time. The Crows will investigate.
We had better. I am sure we'd be among the Antom's first targets.